to DAX Machina. Join us as we explore the mysteries of this world. Cryptids, monsters, macabre tales, and horror stories abound. Could they be true? Are monsters real?
Good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us on another edition of DAX Machina. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm great.
Anthony's sneaking in there as the countdown was going.
Ain't
nothing like popping in at the last possible second.
I got the text. He goes, "Where are you, meatball?" I go, "Ha ha ha."
Well, Steve won't be with us tonight. He's on vacation, and Doc was running a little late, so we may or may not get a Doc sighting tonight.
Oh boy. What else?
So you boys are about ready for the big Ocala Bigfoot Festival, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've been discussing plans and
Yeah.
things.
Oh,
like
yeah.
When does that start?
Well, the conference is Saturday, but I'm coming down on Tuesday, and me and the meatball going to do some stuff. I got I finished packing up. I went and Harbor Freight had I paid let me get it. I paid $30 for this smaller one. They had a sale yesterday that now the one that's a size up from that was the same price as that one. So I paid $30 for the one that's about that big. So I put all my GoPro stuff in that.
Nice.
So
Ought to keep it dry.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We should have a good one.
So where are you guys planning on going out for excursions?
We are going to discuss that when he gets here, because I don't know how the weather's going to be, number one. So far it's been nice at night. It hasn't been hot. So, I mean, knock on wood, that's pretty crazy, because the past couple of days it's been hot. But
Well, there's flooding over somewhere not too far from you, isn't there?
no, South Florida, that's like 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they could keep all that. Yeah, let them deal with all that. Yeah. Sure.
Well, you wouldn't want to be out in the Ocala National Forest and get a big rainstorm. You guys might not get out of there for a week.
Oh, please. It gets nasty up here. Like it rained today, man, like out of nowhere. I mean, poured.
We had storms roll through here.
I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty nice when this all goes down. So
we're gonna catch this couple pythons and make some money while we're in there, Anthony.
If there is any,
because don't they pay you for catching them things?
Oh yeah. They're more South Florida though, man. I mean, think about all that stuff that's going on down there right now with the flooding. There's probably iguanas and snakes swimming all over the friggin' place down there. So the iguanas love it. They love the water. So just imagine how bad it is. I mean,
I'll get Anthony to take a picture of me jumping on an alligator's back.
There you go. Just don't get eaten.
The worst storm in 50 years rolled through there.
This is for Tombstone. Crikey. Look right there. See that alligator? I'm going to jump on his back.
Yeah, I could just see it.
Anthony would be like, oh, God, he's going to die.
Yeah.
Robbie's fixing to get eat.
Be like, hey, Anthony, hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah. We'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
That I can see.
Yeah.
Anthony, have you ever been around many drunk rednecks?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you don't have anything that you...
No, I don't bother
no
me.
surprises are coming for you then.
No, I just, that don't bother me. I'm probably going to be drunk with you, so who knows?
This is going to be
right
fun.
there.
Yeah.
We'll be calling DA from the jail. Hey, man, you might have to mortgage your house to get us out because, who knows?
Well, hopefully you don't need anybody to go your bail, but, we'll figure something out. Me and Doc will have to fly in.
Yeah. It's gonna be. They said this conference is gonna be packed, so it's gonna be pretty packed.
Yeah, I really wanted to be there for it.
We will see, man. We will see. I don't know.
Are they going to have it there again next year? Do you know, or have they
I
decided?
I think they are because that last year they held it at in Lakeland.
Mhm.
And in Lakeland, it was so small. It was at the Armory. They couldn't fit everybody inside of it. So this place is massive.
I think they should have more than just a 1 day event.
Yeah, I think so too. But you know,
The new Dogman conference, the one that Josh Turner and Paranormal Roundtable's putting on, that's going to be down near Fort Worth, Texas, a little town. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, but tickets are on sale now. Let me go grab the link real quick. I
okay.
will do that right now.
Oh boy, yeah,
Oh,
we're
you
gonna.
boys been thinking over which movies you guys wanted to?
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know. Um,
Well, I've seen most all of them
yeah,
15 times anyway.
me
So
too.
there's
So
only a few of them that I hadn't seen, didn't have a chance. Like some of the older ones, like Night of the Demons and or Night of the Demon, whichever one, whatever it is. But that one came up in a
Demon was
couple.
okay.
you
Yeah,
remember
It
that
wasn't my
movie?
favorite, but it wasn't bad.
Remember the movie Gargoyle?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about
I
the
mean,
old one with the old guy from Union Jefferson
that
from
that thing scared the shit out of me so bad as a kid. Because
that movie has actually held up pretty good. I
yeah,
mean, it's still corny and cheesy, but for the most part, like who is it? What's that guy's name? Scott Glenn. He's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the only other really kind of famous guy is the guy that played Union Jefferson in Revenge of the Nerds.
yeah.
I can't remember what his name is, but he's the main gargoyle.
Ed McGinley.
Yeah. So, but it's actually not a bad movie when you think about it.
Like it reminds me of remember the gargoyles that were in that movie remind me of the guy from Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah,
The
kind of.
monster
I
from
can see
Jeepers
that.
Creepers.
Well, the ones that didn't fly, they reminded me a lot
Right.
of the Slee Stacks from
Yeah.
Land of the Lost on Saturday mornings. That fur thing
Yeah.
around their necks and
That
they
shit
look.
scared me. I was scared shitless as a kid, man. That thing really scared the shit out of that movie. Yeah. I was like, ooh, yeah. That was pretty good.
Ooh, Anthony, not that one. Not that. I messed up.
What?
They're moving too fast. Look at this.
Nice.
Maybe that's something we can do Sunday then, Anthony.
Heck yeah.
No shit.
That's freaking cool.
I didn't even know they're having the Sportsman's Expo there.
Hey, I wonder if Norm will be there. Old Fisherman
Huh.
Norm.
That's weird. How did see? We don't get that on the news up here. I mean, anything. They don't tell us. Okay, so we got to look into that. I didn't even know that. So that's like the SHOT Show. That's like the SHOT Show for, I guess,
For
what?
fishing.
Hunting? For fishing?
For
or
fishing.
whatever. Yeah, shooting, fishing, or whatever it is. But
I say we definitely go check that out on Sunday then.
yeah, I didn't know. If can we get tickets to that? Hey, Fred's in. Hey, what's up, Fred?
Fred.
I don't know if can we get tickets or do we have to be a vendor?
I'm sure they sell tickets for it because that's.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got to look into it. You know what? When you get here, we got to look into it, man, because that'd be badass to go to. Really.
Yep, that'd be fun.
Maybe we could pick up some sponsors while we're there.
Why not?
You never know.
That's right. They might recognize us. Who knows?
I'm bringing the cowboy hat, so
There we go.
Weird things have happened. So you never know. Yeah, I think the conference is going to be pretty good.
I think we're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, we are. I know I am. So
I wish I was joining you guys, but unfortunately, I guess we'll have to make it next year.
there's certain other things too that might go down there that we can't talk about, but
Not on the air.
yeah. Robbie knows what I'm talking about because I
Oh,
called
DA
him
knows.
today.
Oh, I know now too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, but anywho, yeah, I think we're gonna have a blast. Really, I think we are. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have the sidekick with us. Uncle John's gonna be with us. I'm gonna get him a wheelchair and get him scooting around the place. So, we'll see how he feels. He's home finally, so
That's
everything's
good.
good. Yeah, everything's good. You can't kill him yet, I guess. I don't know. He's not going anywhere.
Nah. Somebody got to keep us out of trouble next
Yeah.
weekend.
So, what did you guys think of the movie The Untold?
The first
One that
one.
had Lance Heinrichsen, the plane crashes, and
His daughter got killed, and
Yeah.
he was looking for that mysterious device, the Hunley or the Huxley or something like that.
That was good, man.
That was almost the Cryptid almost took second stage in that movie to whatever that device and what they were actually doing up there.
Mm-hmm.
The Cryptid was kind of like,
as far as the creature effects go, though, I don't really care for the creature that way in that one so much. You didn't get to see it a lot, but it looked like a caveman wearing furs.
Yeah.
It really didn't look like what I expected it to look like.
Part two, the part 2 one that came out, because they were supposed to. Now there's a part 2 to that movie.
I didn't know there was a part 2.
Yeah.
No, I think we had this discussion before. I think you're thinking about Exist or not
Maybe
Exist.
that's
Big Legend was supposed to be the jumping off point.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that
that's
whole,
it.
Yeah,
You're
and they
right.
because that had Lance Henriksen in it too. Because that's the same thing. We no, he was in both. Well, he's actually been in like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Lance Henriksen's been in a lot of creature movies over the
He's been
years.
in Big Legend. He's been in Abominable, and he's been in Untold for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
Big
more.
Legend is the one that there's the sequel.
It was it was supposed to be
tycoon,
a whole universe.
Right? Isn't he like a big wealthy tycoon in that one?
Yeah, he's in the guy's room when the Travis, the main character, when he wakes up in
what
his
he did
bedroom
was pissed it off.
Yeah,
because he was a former Ranger, right? Special Forces Ranger.
Yeah. It never specifically. It's Army, and it's implied that he was Special Forces, but I don't think it ever specifically spelled out which team what unit he was with. It just
he went after it because of his wife coming up missing and getting killed.
His fiance. He
was asking her to marry him,
and she said yes. And then something set his little tripwire off. He goes out to check it, and
came back, and she was gone.
Yeah, it jerked her out of the tent while he was down there checking, and
but isn't that part 2 to the first movie?
No, that's the first one.
No, they're not even related.
Of the cinematic universe, that was supposed to be the first one of that cinematic universe,
and unfortunately, the rest of them didn't materialize, which is too bad.
Okay.
Open Coloring Book says The Untold was a fantastic movie. The look of the creature was bad. They should have got descriptions from DA's books. Well, thank you. To me, that was the weak part of The Untold. The writing was good. The actors were good. The plot was good. I liked the idea of them going up looking for this missing aircraft, because we all know there's like 26 or 28 aircraft, including one DC-10 that have gone missing in the Pacific Northwest. So that part was really kind of tied into things that have really happened. Yeah. And it's weird that none of those aircraft have ever been found, but that movie kind of gave a possible description, a possible idea on why some of them couldn't have been found.
And it almost had a sort of a feeling at first, like what was that movie about with Ethan Hawke in it when the plane crashed in the past, like, almost like the Donner Pass and Ravenous.
The movie Alive, but the soccer team.
Yeah, it almost had a feeling like it was going to turn into something like that at first, and then all of a sudden the creature comes into it, and it's like, this is turned into a survival horror movie.
Well, in that movie, he had a guy with him that ran security, right? That carried a high-powered rifle. So, but I think
the drunk professional hunter.
Yeah, some professional hunter. the best movie of all times, I think, and I think you guys will agree, is the epitome and the way a Dugway looks in a movie is what, DA? What movie is it?
Primal Rage.
Yeah, you're talking
Yes.
about Primal Rage.
Yes.
Primal
That-
Rage to me is my favorite of all the
Yes,
Bigfoot /
me
cryptid
too.
movies. The creature effects were amazing. It was a great story. However, the main characters, the woman and the man, I kind of liked her. Him, I didn't
Yeah,
really have any sympathy for. I was kind of rooting for the creature to kill him pretty
Yeah.
early. But
You know,
as far as the creature effects and the story, it was really well
Yeah.
done.
If they'd have had the character from Big Legend, the main character from Big Legend, had crossed over into Primal Rage.
Oh, that would have been a much better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they had those hunters to go out, those guys that were poaching out there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well,
I really those guys I wanted to get killed. I'm sorry,
But we've talked about it before. We all pretty much think that was a good way that they were trying to protect.
Oh, it had to have been.
yeah,
Trying to project in that movie, but what was so cool about it was the fact that, and I knew the mask part of it, but I forgot that it had freaking bracers and stuff that it
yeah. From
had a tree bark on its.
Yeah, the face mask and everything.
It had primitive bow and arrow and spear
Yeah,
that they were using, kind of like out of DA's book. You know, like when the first wild team goes in to
Oklahoma.
retrieve that drone, those other ones were using spears and bows. So then you got these things running around in the woods in the movie that are, Dugway running around killing people, but they didn't realize these things had weapons either. That was the crazy part.
One thing I really liked about that movie is there if you freeze frame and a number of those like we've watching the movie, if you freeze frame it, at places where you can see that thing is literally hiding in plain sight.
Oh yeah,
there are times where I'm just like, oh my god, it is right freaking there, but they just run right by it because it didn't move.
right.
Which exactly what we've talked about so many times, how these things can disappear because they just didn't move.
It's funny how they did that in the movie, because I watched it like 4 or 5 times, and every time I watch it, you catch you catch other things in the movie. You're like, oh,
Right.
there's two over there by the tree. There's one kneeling down over there, and you could spot them now in different scenes.
Another one that I think is really good, that was done really well, was Exists.
Yep.
Exist was really good.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
I'm not a big fan of the found footage, but that one was done right.
And that was supposed to be a sequel too.
Yeah, it was done, but it was done more believably that it could be a found footage film. The way, like, going back to the Blair Witch, I mean, that's the one that started all that craze.
Oh yeah, M. Night
Shyamalan.
Yeah. I think the best movie he did was with Mel Gibson.
Signs.
Yeah, I think that was the best one he's done.
But
honestly,
the Blair Witch started all that, and it was okay. But it didn't have any. There was no benchmark to be compared against, because it was the first one that they'd done that with. So, obviously it's the benchmark for all these other found footage movies, and now there's 5 million of them. Open Water, all the Paranormal Experience, or all those are the found footage. But to me, those are all lacking in believability, other than Open Water. The situation that they were in, not the fact that it could be that there's a camera out there showing all this, but the situation that they were in was obviously believable. But that's not going to be a found footage movie, even though it was supposed to be in that same genre. But Exists, you actually can kind of believe that the way it was set up and the way it was presented, you can actually kind of believe that this could have been a found footage movie, because it was they were not in any kind of real extraneous situation that would make you think, okay, people wouldn't have been doing this and this. It was just the way it was presented and put forth. It just seemed to me like it was a lot more believable that,
Yeah.
I like the one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, DA. I didn't see that.
I was just going to say, Open Coloring Book makes a good point, because they did that same thing at the end of Harry and the Hendersons, when those creatures were standing there the whole time. You just didn't see them until they moved.
Well, that's where all that came from. That was the first one that did all that.
Mm-hmm.
And even I think it wasn't a great movie, but I think it had a good twist to it was the one with Sam Elliott.
Oh, the man who killed Hitler, then Bigfoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
to me I hated that movie. That's
I did not
2.5 hours of my life. I'll
I
never
didn't
get
like
back.
it either, but it had like, why did they, like, because he killed Hitler, so now he's gonna go after Bigfoot? I was like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
that makes no sense.
The Bigfoot looked like Chaka from Land of the Lost.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it looked like.
Well, to me, that movie just didn't make a lot of sense. On,
No.
I couldn't follow it. I was like, why this scene and this? It just didn't make any sense.
Right.
It's just, and I love Sam Elliott. You know that, DA.
Me
Oh,
I
yeah, I'm a
like
big
it
Sam
too.
Elliott fan, but I just did not care for that movie. Not
Why
at
he
all.
signed up for that movie, I'll never understand.
They probably offered him a crap load of money.
Probably.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's so many B movies that are out there that, I mean, I'm looking at the list now. I've probably seen 80% of them, and the rest I have not even heard of. It's like crazy stuff. Like, okay, here's one. You probably guys never. Sasquatch Hunters.
I think I've seen that one.
Never heard
I've
of
seen
it.
a crap load of really, really B and C grade cryptid movies.
I have too. So, and I might not remember the names of them, but if I start watching, I'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. The Fear.
Mm-hmm.
The Fear.
Have you guys seen Throwback?
That
No.
name sounds familiar.
It's set in Australia.
I want to
these
see
guys
that.
going treasure hunting.
Yes,
Oh, freaking great movie!
that one.
Even
Oh,
the creature
yeah.
the creature effects were really good. You
Yes,
didn't
I
get
did
to get a
see
lot
that.
of really good looks at it, but what you saw was creepy as hell.
I did see that. Is that where they go? They fall into those cavern. They fall into the cavern. Those guys. Or one of them does.
Maybe.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think that does sound familiar, but because it was mostly in like a very jungled area.
I did see it, but it was a long time ago. I seen it.
It's a great movie.
I think I did see it. What is it called?
Throwback.
Throwback.
Yeah, Toombs said it's an awesome movie too. I was sure he would seen it.
There's another one, and Toombs will have to pull this up for me because I can't remember the name of it. But there is a new movie coming out. It's an Australian film. It's about a marsupial, like it's thought to be extinct, and this thing's like killing people. I can't remember the name of it, but the trailer looks fantastic.
That's the one that there's like a piece of land that was owned by the family, and that the kids go back to, or some of the kids go back to.
Yeah.
It. And
Right.
there's some Aboriginal stuff that say, hey, you need to get out of here, or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think Toombs sent me that.
I seen it.
link to that.
I seen the preview for that. It looks pretty good.
Toombs says the Bunyip. That doesn't sound like it. I don't think that was the name of it.
Well, that other one that what's his name played in that went after the Tasmanian dog or tiger was what's his name? William Dafoe. Remember, he was the hunter.
Oh yeah, the hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He that was a pretty good movie. I mean, it was kind of like one of them. There wasn't a whole lot of dialogue in it.
Mm-hmm.
No,
There was a lot of him in the woods and looking through a scope and all that stuff. But it was actually a really good movie.
he actually let it live at the end. I think didn't he? Didn't he let it go? Yeah.
Northwoods brought up the two movies called Dogman that were filmed, I believe, up in Wisconsin. They both fairly low budget movie. And in fact, when the biggest name actor in it is the guy that played Andy on According to Jim, it's going to be high quality acting. But they were a little cheesy, but not bad. It's called Dogman and Dogman Part 2, like the new litter or something like that.
Yeah.
Rumor is they're making a third one, but if it's no better than the first two, I don't know if I'll bother. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're okay. I wouldn't call them outstanding viewing, but they're okay. If you've got nothing to do for an hour or two, and you want to kill some time.
Robbie turned me on to that show that was on Amazon. Was it Amazon or Prime?
Paramount.
That show, let me tell you, man, I thought it was going to be kind of stupid.
Well, I told him Sarah Michelle Gellar was on it. He goes, "Oh God, not another Buffy." I said, "No, it's not.
Yeah.
She's in it, but this is."
She plays a a, 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 she's just but these kids, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. These kids come infected and become werewolves for dogmen, and they call it the pack. Is that
Yeah.
it?
I think the pack.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good show.
It's
Abnormal Investigations, a Sasquatch movie called Something in the Woods. That's
Yeah.
one that Anthony and I talked about before. Really good movie.
Yes, that's a really good movie, man.
I like that one a lot.
That shit'll
Another
keep
one
you
that-
on your seat.
another one that was a really good movie that it seemed like it was going to be a movie about a cryptid, but it turned out to be like a crazy guy. But I can't remember the name of it. Devin Sawa was in it, and that family lived out in the woods, and
Oh yeah,
they were trappers, and wow, what was the name of that movie, Anthony?
yeah. They were eating people, weren't they? Eating people?
No, they were just living off the land, and they thought it was either a werewolf or a dire wolf was stalking them or whatever. And it turned out to be just a crazy guy, and he ends up killing Devin Sawa's character and killing the little girl.
Yeah.
And then the wife, who's kind of sort of not really a pacifist, but she doesn't really get into the hunting part of it, but she ends up like putting a hurting on him at the end of the movie, and the police come in, and
I remember
a lot in the last 3 or 5 minutes of the movie, you think it might be a werewolf, and then it turns out to be a guy. But it was actually a really good movie because they kept it. You never knew that it was actually a human until like the last probably 5 minutes of the movie. But I can't remember the name of that.
I say hands down the best werewolf movie is Dog Soldier.
Oh, Dog Soldier is a fantastic movie.
That, and I was so pissed off they didn't make it. Well, they made a sequel, didn't they?
No, I think they're supposedly making one.
Dog Soldiers and Silver Bullet are right here for me. I can't pick one over the other.
Yeah, I like Silver Bullet. I did like that.
I mean, come on. Any movie that's got Gary Busey in it with a line of "I'm too old to go play the Hardy Boys meet Reverend Werewolf."
Yeah, with the crazy uncle,
right? Against that movie, that is just
he's the crazy uncle. Yeah,
I mean, Gary Busey being Gary Busey.
Yeah,
that was pretty much just Gary Busey being himself. Shy Dorsey says one disappointment was Eric Brown's Bigfoot War. I know Eric, good dude. Let's see, Thomas Howell. Yeah, it was kind of cheesily done. They kind of turned it into a B-grade schlock film. Corey Cole says, DA, have you seen Primal Rage? Yeah, we just talked about Primal Rage just a little bit ago. So I think that's pretty much all of our picks is the best of the Bigfoot films.
I think it is.
This was a good movie, too. Did you see that one, DA? Where?
No.
Maybe. Which one is that one?
That's the one where this little, I guess she's an American, I think, but she's kind of like a public defender, and this guy has been accused of killing this couple and their kid in the woods, and she's set to defend him and all this stuff, and she goes to the little, I can't think of what it was. They had some kind of little because everybody was saying that he was saying he was a werewolf, and they had some kind of little thing set up. They were going to examine him or something like this, and he actually breaks free, kind of like the Wolfman thing, just runs through the entire room of scientists and doctors and starts killing them, and jumps out the top floor of a building. And
that's right.
Yeah.
It's
intense. It's a good movie. It's very
They all thought he was crazy, and then
they thought he was crazy. Kind of like the scene from what's his name? That redid the Wolfman, Benicio del Toro.
Yeah,
that scene where they had him in the asylum, and they were like, "We're going to hold him here, and we're going to show him that when the moon comes out, he's not going to turn." And he turned. That's kind of the same.
But he kills half the scientists in the room too. Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good one.
Jack.
There have been a lot of good ones.
Right, Jack Nicholson played Didn't he play werewolf or wolf? What is it? Which one did he play? Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's a wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, but
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh
God, what was the bad guy's name?
Guy from the Blacklist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the ex-lover or whatever he was,
Or he was the one that took his job and then took his
Yeah.
wife, and I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. Somebody will put it
I
up.
can't think of it either.
But yeah, I'm with you, DA. That was kind of a. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it just.
James Spader.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah, that was
No,
pretty
it was
good.
okay. What was the one that was set? It was based off the events around the Beast of Gavauden's. The guy gets called in to investigate these
Brotherhood of the
murders.
Wolf.
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Mark
That's
Dacascos.
a really good one.
Yeah, that's a good movie up until the point where Mark Dacascos gets killed. There was no reason to kill that character. He was the best character in that movie. He played that the Native American Manny.
Yeah,
American Rednecks in London. That's pretty. Yeah, that would be good.
that'd be our vacation video if we go to London.
Yeah.
It'd be like National Lampoon be making the movie, but
Let's say now, American Werewolf in London was great. American Werewolf in Paris, which was the follow-up years and years later, was stupid.
Sucked.
Yeah, nowhere near as good.
No.
Sucked. Lost Boys. Yeah, I agree. The grandfather in Lost Boys, man. He goes, at the very end, everybody knew about the vampires, and everybody looked at him like,
thing I always hate about Santa Clara,
yeah,
damn vampires.
those damn vampires. And they're all looking at him like, what?
Yeah, you knew.
Yeah, Grandpa. Yeah.
Lost Boys is probably my favorite vampire movie. I'm not a vampire guy. I don't, werewolves are my thing. Bigfoot.
There's a new vampire movie coming out
With Nicolas Cage.
No, that one looks stupid.
Not that one.
Nicolas Cage's already been in a vampire movie.
Yeah,
the vampire. That's that crazy Nicolas Cage meme where he's doing like this. That's Kiss of the Vampire.
How about the one?
Yeah,
how about the Netflix movie with Jamie Foxx that he hunts vampires?
I watched that. That wasn't bad.
That was a good movie, man.
Well,
I'm generally not a fan of Jamie Foxx's, but that was pretty good.
To be redoing Blade with Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, they're coming out. Yeah, Marvel Comics is redoing the movie.
The new vampire movie coming out is called The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah,
the Demeter is the ship that in Bram Stoker's Dracula that brought him to London.
Yep.
The ship sets out from Romania and there's nobody left aboard by the time it makes it to London. It sails into port by itself, and it's the voyage, the story of what happens on the Demeter.
Depending on which, in Bram Stoker's Dracula there was nobody, but in other versions, Renfield was the only one that was alive on it because he came back on the ship with Dracula. So
watch this. Not to get off subject, but I guess it is a cryptid. I have 3 cryptids in a swimming pool here, and I like to know the Florida state record for bullfrogs, how big they get. Because let me tell you, man, I got 3 bullfrogs right here that I think if we ate them, we'd be full. That's how big these things are. They're huge.
Corey Colson, you guys remember Once Bitten?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Hutton.
Early movies.
The vampire in Brooklyn with
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Then the other one with he had his big break. Not Jeff Clooney. Yeah.
Yeah, George Clooney. You talking about Dusk Dawn?
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, Tarantino and George Clooney and Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, that he had his big. Wasn't that his big break or something?
Oh no,
he'd been around for a while before then.
Because he'd already been on ER for a couple of years when that movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But he had what's his name?
Actually, George Clooney was he was in freaking Grizzly 2 before he was in. That was probably one of the first big screen appearances. Him and Julia Roberts and Charlie Sheen, they filmed like 10 minutes of a scene just so they could put their names in that movie, and they were in the scene for 10 minutes, and then never were in the movie again. Had nothing to do with the rest of that movie. That was probably one of the stupidest movies ever made.
Have you guys seen Cocaine Bear yet?
I have not
yet.
Okay, it's a true story
Yep.
that actually happened.
Not
And
quite the way they say it in the movie, but
no, but this bear goes on a high cocaine rampage that kills. I mean, I guess they dumped a bale of coke out, and this thing got into it. But yeah, the movie's not too bad.
The real story was the feds were after this guy, and he had this other guy with him, and they were flying in a plane, and all of a sudden they were flying the cocaine in a little plane. All of a sudden they start hearing somebody talking on the two-way radio, but because the plane that was following them was so close, they got a little too close, so they could overhear, and the guy heard, yeah, we're gonna let him land, then we're gonna overtake him, and he was like, oh crap, so he starts pushing the bags of dope out,
Right.
and then they both jump out, and then let the plane just go. Well, I think they found. No, the pilot died. He burned in. His chute didn't open because he burned in some guy's front yard.
Yeah.
Because the guy had I don't know if it was Alzheimer's or what, but he had a daily routine that he had to do to keep himself grounded, so he knew what was going on. And said he was in there that morning getting ready to take his medicine. He looked out and he saw this guy splattered all over his front lawn because his parachute didn't open up in time, and it messed up his morning routine. I'm like, yeah, that'd probably mess up anybody's morning routine.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, but yeah, that the bear did get a hold of that cocaine. How many people did that bear kill?
I listened to the story on Mr. Ballin. He told about it, and I don't think he ever said that it actually killed anybody. I think that was probably some of the embellishment for the movies. Because, Dolly Parton told a joke years ago, and I almost thought when they started this, I almost thought they were basing it on that joke, because she was talking about they used to have this bear down at the one of the gas stations in Sevierville, and people used to go see it and go give the bear Coca-Cola, and they'd drink Coca-Cola, and said one day these little kids that were trying to be mean, they went over and they put some gasoline in a Coke can and gave it to the bear. The bear drank some of the gasoline, and it went crazy, and it broke out of the pen. It took off running. It, running off down the road, and she said it ran about 5 miles down the road, and it just fell over dead. And I said, well, what happened? She goes, well, it ran out of gas.
I ain't got no gas in it. Yeah.
I ain't got no gas in it.
Ain't got no gas in it.
I can't do it as good as Doc.
Oh, yeah, there's so many cryptid movies, man. I can't even keep track of them all. There's so many of them. It's just nuts.
Yeah, we can't really talk about cryptid movies without mentioning, probably the one that really started it all for me. That's The Legend of Boggy Creek.
Yeah.
That's number one in my book.
I went and seen that in the movies, and my grandmother took me to go see it in the movie theater. The Legend of Boggy Creek, and that movie scared the living shit out of me. That movie.
It should.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been down to Falk, Arkansas. That area is pretty creepy all by itself.
Yeah,
we were all kids when this movie came out, and I had already had my sighting when I saw that movie. So, I've told you that before. Is some of that landscape, especially that one where that little kid's running back, trying to get back home before it got dark, climbing over that barbed wire fence. I climbed the barbed wire fence, looking out over a field, looked just like that, and that scared the crap out of me. Looking at that movie after I'd seen that and thinking about all the times I'd been down in that field and in that back pasture and in bottoms,
right?
Bottoms.
Yeah, but I think the worst scene for me is when that thing reached through the window and grabbed the wife.
Or you mean grab the guy on the toilet? Or
grab the dude on the toilet?
Yeah. And that, I mean,
I bet that alleviated any constipation issues he was having.
Yeah.
I'd say he had no trouble evacuating the old chamber right there.
I mean, it was crazy, that movie. And supposedly that family still lives around there somewhere, right? DA, or no?
The people that were renting the house, I think their name was Ford. They basically left in the middle of the night and just left that area and didn't come back. But the Crabtree family still lives down there.
Yep.
I'm looking at the comments. What is that?
But yeah, I agree with Dee's comment about Van Helsing's werewolf, Hugh Jackman's werewolf.
Oh
That
yeah,
was probably one of the best looking on screen werewolves.
Oh, I would agree.
yeah. I mean, there's so many cryptid movies, man. And even not even I wouldn't say it's cryptid, but the one about Gustav.
Yeah.
Primal
Well,
Rage.
technically, I think I would
Primal.
still consider that I would still consider that a cryptid film because
Primal?
basically when a crocodile gets that big, it's essentially a sarcosaurus. I mean, it's just a prehistoric monster at that point. There was another one along those lines that was set in Australia called Rogue,
Yeah,
which is
with
a
the
damn
boat.
good
They
monster
had the
film.
tourist on the boat. I remember that. That was
Mhm.
great.
Rogue and Blackwater. Both
Blackwater's another good one.
Yeah.
Oh, then the movie Crawl.
Yeah. I just
Yep.
watched that again the other day.
That's a good movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
On
that-
Barry Pepper.
yeah,
Gary
some of
Lee says Bobby Ford's horse never returned to Boggy Creek.
Yeah, that movie, I guess, did set everything in motion for everybody. But yeah, Lake Placid, Lake Placid. Now, supposedly that's somewhat true.
Lake Placid?
Yes, somewhat. I know you can make the face, but there's stories about
I never heard that.
somebody finding it, not that big. It wasn't a crocodile; it was an alligator. But somebody found an alligator that was let loose in one of the lakes in upstate New York.
They found one here in Table Rock Lake. Not Table Rock Lake. Lake Taneycomo, right here in Missouri, just like 30 miles from here.
Yeah, they've been finding alligators way north of.
People had been reporting it, and the Missouri Department of Conservation was like, "No, there's no
Yeah.
native alligators around here." And come to find out, somebody had released one, and they found it when the lake froze. And they found its nose sticking up out of the
Yeah.
ice.
Yeah, so they
there
do.
was
they
one
do
in
survive.
Laurel and Hardy Lake. I'll get it in a minute. About 10 miles from where I'm sitting now. Then the people who lived around the lake kept telling DNR, "Hey, there's an alligator. There's an alligator." And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
And a deputy finally saw it, and deputy called dispatch and said, "Get DNR out here now. I'm looking at it. I'm watching it swim in the lake right now." And
Right.
game wardens come up there, and they actually saw it that time. They were like, guess we need to get this thing out of here."
Now they have found alligators in the sewers of New York. They found one.
That doesn't surprise me.
That was let loose, and everybody's, "Oh, that's not a true story." No, it was, and I think it was back in the 80s. It wasn't big, but that's where all the telltales come from. But they did find one somewhere. I might be wrong, but I remember them talking about them finding a gator in upstate New York somewhere in one of the lakes, and Lake Placid in New York, upstate. That's where it takes place. But yeah, it wasn't a crocodile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those like I said, man, nature has a way of surviving.
What we take as a weird story here. Australia, that's pretty much a daily occurrence.
Yeah,
Those big salt and freshwater crocodiles are freaking everywhere.
yeah. I mean, even here by me, and in South Florida, they're finding in South Florida now. They're finding caimans that are not even native to the United States. They're finding populations of caiman crocs now down in these populated areas, man.
Well, after that hurricane that hit Florida and released all those reptiles,
Yeah,
I think it's just a matter of time until something like a freaking Nile croc starts interbreeding with local populations because they can crossbreed. They just
Yeah.
don't normally do it.
well, we get crocodiles from Cuba. We get there's crocs in Cuba that swim across the ocean that come all the way up to Key West to the mangroves that actually make their way all the way up to Palm Beach County.
You start getting 20, 25,
Yeah.
20-foot long plus Nile crocodiles in Florida, people are going to start going missing in large numbers.
Well, if you go down, like I said, if you take a boat ride and you go down in the mangroves, there's signs posted, "Beware of crocodiles." And I thought it was a joke.
Oh no, the American crocodiles all over Florida.
Yeah. There is. And
But
everybody's
see,
like, oh, no, they're not. I'm like, yeah,
see,
they're in.
in the past, though, the American crocodile never got more than like 15 foot, 15,
Right.
16 foot. Now, I just watched a documentary not long ago. They documented one that was like almost 19 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Got
That's a big
close to 20
crocodile.
feet.
Yeah, is that
You start introducing the bloodline of those Nile crocs, and 20 foot is not uncommon for those.
Think
They're
what
big
happened.
and aggressive.
Think of what would happen if a salty and a Nile got together. That's the two biggest crocodilian species on the planet.
Little Patty asked this a couple of times, and I didn't even. It doesn't even register for me. Do you guys know this one? Does anybody remember the name of the vampire movie? The vampire was the disciple of God. That's not one I think I've heard of. If somebody knows what that's called, yeah, it sounds like something I would watch, but I've never heard of that.
3000 had some kind of supposedly Dracula was Judas Iscariot, I think, if that's what she's talking about. Or something like that. I've only seen it like one time. It was, but I think that's probably what she's talking about.
Tomb, yeah, because he's in Australia. He knows. Like Tomb was raised in the backwoods, basically. That's what he said. So he knows all about that shit over there.
Yeah, those are dangerous animals.
Yeah, like you don't go skinny dipping in a freaking canal over there.
You won't be found.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just nuts.
I wouldn't want to really swim anywhere over there because of crap like this.
What the?
Yeah. What did that?
What bit that in half?
It ate the body. That's like from the legs forward.
Yeah, but that's
you most likely looking at a big tiger or a great white that did something like that.
Yeah, had to be. But that's a big croc.
Yeah.
Jesus Mary.
I washed up on a beach.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with no. No, thank you.
Well, really the only two species that could do that is either a white or a tiger. I mean, bulls don't get big enough.
We don't know about.
Yeah, bulls don't get big. I mean, a smaller croc, yeah, bull could take it, but a big bull shark is 10 foot, 12 foot tops, maybe.
Penny Van says anyone movie The Ritual. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie again?
Either Dracula 3000 or Priest. Either one of those have that religious connotation to it.
So, Priest, the vampires weren't disciples of God. They were attacking the church.
Right. That's the only two that I can think of that has something. But it's probably Dracula 3000 that she's talking about.
Yeah, the movie Priest was weird. That was a weird ass movie
with Jarvis as one of the priests.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany.
Weird.
Jarvis and Vision.
Yeah.
Very weird. Yeah.
Carl Urban is the main bad vampire. Looks kind of like the Undertaker.
Yeah, kind of. I like that hat. I want that hat.
Man, like I said, there's so many cryptid movies, man. It's hard to keep track of. I mean, really, of all of them that are coming out. That's nuts.
The Meg was a good shark film.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit far-fetched, but yeah.
There's two. The Meg 2 is coming out, and Black Demon is coming out. They're making a movie about the Black Demon of the
down in Mexico.
Cortez. Yeah, down in Mexico. So
they're both Black Demon
right about the same time.
Penny Van says, I had a friend in Darwin, Australia that almost lost a leg to one of the saltwater crocs they have. It was 19 feet long, and he became famous for surviving. It's a miracle he survived one that big. The bite pressure on something that big has got to be tremendous.
Yeah, with that.
You're talking well excess of 3K or 3K per square inch.
Yeah, that one lady just got killed here in Florida about a month ago. They pulled out a 10.5 out of the lake. You don't listen, people. If you come to Florida and you're snowbirds, listen to me carefully. Don't walk your dog next to a lake. Okay, not right on the edge of the water. And that's what she was doing. Then somebody caught it on video.
It got her or the dog?
Oh, it came out and grabbed her instead of the dog.
Wow.
They got it on video. This thing came out of the water, grabbed her by the leg, and dragged her in.
Did she survive?
Oh no, gone. No, but they caught the gator and brought it out, and they dispatched. That was it.
Those coloring books. I was wrong. Apparently, it was Dracula 2000 that had Judas Iscariot becoming the first vampire. I knew it was one of those, but Dracula 2000 instead of Dracula 3000. 3000, I think, is when they're in space.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Blunt says over at Sharks Happen, he reads reports of sharks biting folks in half. It's common. Wow.
That is crazy. A huge 30-foot shark, great white, has been in. Huh?
Yeah, there's never been any kind of actual footage of submarine, but I have heard they talk about that one on the Discovery Channel. Deep Blue's the biggest one I think that they've ever got on film, and
she's a female.
Yeah,
That's
22 plus feet, I think. Is how big she was.
She's a female great white.
And they filmed Guadalupe Islands where they first filmed her, but they've actually seen her in Hawaii too.
Yeah.
They actually that guy or the girl that got killed, and they interviewed her husband, and they were kind of suspecting him at first or whatever. They at first, obviously they were talking or saying it was a tiger shark or whatever, but they started doing some digging into it, and they started digging into it and actually started doing some research, and all the big great whites were supposedly in that area, and they had
seen breeding. It's a breeding ground.
They had seen Deep Blue and a couple other bigger sharks.
I've seen that special. I watched it.
So they're saying that more than likely she was bit in half. So more than likely it was not a tiger that did it. It was more than likely a great white that attacked her, because she was bitten completely in half, and they couldn't. They never. I think all they
only found half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that comment that you just put up. Yeah, the lizards don't die anymore, man. The green iguanas don't die from the cold anymore. They go into a hyper state sleep, and then after it warms up, they defrost, and the little bastards are running around again. So, yeah, nature has a way of adapting, like I said. So,
this movie right here, if I'm remembering correctly, that Shy's talking about, this is the one where they were making wooden bullets to kill vampires, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm trying to keep up.
Which is it was a pretty good movie.
Right.
So that's the thing. There's been a ton of vampire movies, and
yeah,
I
don't generally like a lot of humor in my horror films, though. So I have watched some of the more humorous ones, but those are never really my favorites.
You got to be careful when you're doing humor, and that's like American Werewolf in London did it right.
Mm-hmm. There was humor, but it's a serious story.
Yeah,
It's very easy to go too far and turn it into just a big joke.
And Silver Bullet, there was just enough humor to make it real. There was, the serious stuff was serious, but like pretty much all of Gary Busey stuff was comic gold. But it was just because that was his character, and that's how he played. That's how his character was supposed to be played, was just a goofy drunk uncle.
Mm-hmm.
So. But then you get others like I know American Werewolf in Paris. They tried way too hard to put comedy in almost every other scene. It didn't work. And I think that's one of the main reasons that movie flopped so hard, because coming out being the sequel to American Werewolf in London, which is probably one of the, besides The Howling, one of the most beloved werewolf movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You've already got the formula to succeed, and then you drop the ball.
Northward says one of the places I was, they briefed us to be extra cautious due to a big hammerhead shark in the lagoon. Yeah, I can see how you'd want to be careful.
Hammerheads can be aggressive too. They're not as dangerous as one of the top three, but I think they're like number 4 or 5 on the list.
Yeah. Have you seen that video of the biggest hammerhead caught? that guy pulls it into the side of the boat, and it's like a 30-foot boat, and this thing is bigger than the boat.
Jesus, I didn't know hammerheads got that big.
I gotta send you the video.
I thought the biggest hammerhead on file was like 16 feet. So
I
huge.
think this is bigger. This guy, and they release it, but this guy is he's not a guy, he's a kid. He has his own YouTube channel, and he does world-class fishing stuff, and he hooks this hammerhead, man. I've never seen a hammerhead this big in my life. It was almost the size of the boat or bigger, and they had it hooked onto the side of the boat. It was massive. I'll send you the video.
I'd like to see the video on that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. He takes that, and then there was another one he takes, I think it was a tiger shark. I think he takes a bull shark that was massive. It was all over YouTube how big these two sharks were that he caught.
Speaking of shark films, what did you guys think of Deep Blue Sea?
The first one?
Yeah.
The very first one was good. It got stupid after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the first one.
Yeah, I did too. I like that. What was the one where they were stranded on that rock?
The reef.
The reef.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yeah, that was crazy. And then they had the other one. Who was it?
Look, the shark movies are like the cockroaches of monster movies. There is like 4 shark movies for every one other monster movie.
Open Water, yeah, that's a good one.
Open Water, that was we talked about that one earlier.
Yeah,
and there was 3 or 4, I think 3 of those. Open Water Adrift, and Open Water Cage Diving. Then you got 48. Was it 48 below? Not 48 below. 48
meters.
Yeah, 48 meters. Then 48 meters uncaged.
Yeah, that was scary, man. They got stuck in that shark cage that broke.
Yep. The first one was pretty dang scary. The second one was plausible, but they're stuck in a cave underwater with blind sharks chasing them.
Yeah, that was all right. Whenever you start talking about shark cages, I always think of that scene from Jaws. Cage, go in the water. You go in the water. Shark in the water.
Our shark. Very well, and do you fair Spanish ladies.
And that's supposed to be. Wasn't that story true? That he did tell about the boat when it got hit?
Yeah, the Indianapolis.
Yeah. He actually went the scene at first, the way it was written, when he did it, it didn't turn out right, and Steven Spielberg was kind of upset about it and everything. And Robert Shaw said, "Hang on, let's redo the scene tomorrow." So he came in, not drunk, but a little bit tipsy, and he had rewritten the scene, or rewritten the monologue, and that's what you got, was what Robert Shaw had actually rewritten.
Yeah.
About being on the Indianapolis. And Steven Spielberg was like,
"Yeah,
Robert Shaw was a great actor."
I might be wrong, but I'm not mistaken. I think John here, his father-in-law was on the Indianapolis. I don't know if he was on it when it happened, but they delivered the atomic bomb, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember him telling the story.
We delivered the bomb.
Yeah,
I think Hiroshima.
Yeah, I think he was on that ship when it happened. He was a cook.
Because that was the reason that it was so bad, because that mission that they were on was so top secret. Nobody knew where they were, so that nobody reported them as overdue for like a week, DA?
Yeah, like a week.
So they were in the water for like days after they got slammed with that Japanese torpedo.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say 12 to 1,500 men went in the water, and they pulled 316 out.
Yeah, it was
the sharks. Of the ones that went in the water, sharks took the rest of like 1,200, and 316 came out.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage actually did a movie about that too.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it's.
Yep, that's it. 1991, Mission of the Shark.
Yeah, if my
Good
uncle's
movie.
listening, wasn't Uncle Jerry on the Indianapolis when they delivered the bomb? I think so. So he'll comment in here. I think he's listening. But I think that's who. I think he was on the ship.
You know, shark movies have kind of got it unfair because they've got one of the greatest movies of all time to go against, and none of the movies in its own franchise can even stack up to it. I mean, Jaws is just one of those once in a lifetime things that it's just,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it got
Jaws did it
stupid.
first.
It
lightning in
got
a bottle.
stupid after Jaws 2, I think.
Yeah,
Jaws 2 was okay.
Yeah.
You
Well, the
know.
casting for Jaws was just so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with that is, and there again, you got to throw Spielberg in there because you had him. He was not involved with any of the rest of them either,
No.
and you had Spielberg, Scheider, Dreyfuss, and Shaw, and they all put so much of their selves into that movie that it just, it just, like I said, lightning in a bottle. I mean, I don't think any movie that had that much trouble has had that much success.
Oh yeah, I watched a documentary on with that. They had so many problems with that mechanical shark. It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
It was
Can they
nuts.
call it Bruce or something like that?
Yeah.
he named it Bruce after his attorney.
Yeah. I mean, that thing had so many problems in the movie. It was nuts.
But in retrospect, that's what made the movie work because you didn't see the shark and you let your imagination build it up. So when you did see it, like to me, the scariest scene in that movie, the first time I saw it, was when that guy, he's out there and he's telling, "Hey boys, tie it up," and it
Yeah.
knocked him over, and he's
Yep.
trying to swim back to that little dinghy.
Yeah.
And that side view of that thing coming up and grabbing a hold of it, that is the scariest damn
Yeah.
scene in that whole movie to me. Or when I
Yeah.
was a kid, when I saw it, I was that terrified me.
Yeah. I seen
That's
it
a
in the
creepy
drive-in.
scene. William, thank you for the super chat, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thanks, William.
I seen that in the drive-in. I remember that, man. That movie was. I didn't go in the water. I mean, that movie scared the hell out of me too.
Oh yeah,
And
I
they
mean,
said it too in the documentary. How many people never got back in the ocean after watching that movie?
A lot of people were very gun shy about it.
Yeah.
well, and they interviewed Peter Benchley years, because before he died, he became a really big advocate for shark conservation.
Yeah.
He regretted the things that book caused for sharks, problems that book caused for sharks, and that book made him ungodly amounts of money, from that book and that movie.
Peter Benchley's a great writer.
Yeah, but he regretted the way he wrote that because he said one time, I don't know how many sharks that I'm responsible for taking off this planet, maybe indirectly, but I'm responsible for I don't know how many
Oh
sharks.
yeah.
Off
I
this
remember
planet.
when they interviewed him, and he was actually breaking down, man. He was so
Yeah.
He was tearing up because he said that what that book caused was just a mass frenzy of shark hunting. It was
Yep.
crazy. So yeah, it's nuts. What did Tomb say? Razorbacks and what? Boars? Great fun.
And
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna have. I would like to take Robbie boar hunting, but that's another probably. I'm gonna wait till everybody gets down here to do that. To all go together to do that. So,
Penny's talking about we can't talk about Jaws without talking about Jaws on land.
Yeah, Land Jaws, Grizzly. That was a great film.
Grizzly,
That
yeah,
Grizzly's where it just kind of popped up and tears that horse's head off with one swipe, right?
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but that movie was freaking awesome.
Grizzly is almost a scene for scene retelling of Jaws on land. You can almost, you could follow along, and you could almost have somebody narrate Jaws and show Grizzly, and it make perfect sense.
yeah. That was done. When was that made? Back in the
1970. Jaws came out in 75, I think, and I think Grizzly came out in 76.
Yeah.
Because I'm 1 year older than Jaws.
Yeah, that was a crazy.
'Cause I came out in 1974.
Man, that was a crazy movie, man. That was nuts. There's so many of them. Please. What did she say? Season in Florida for pig hunting? And no, there isn't. There is no season for pig hunting in Florida or anacondas. It's open season. They're a nuisance animal, Penny. So.
Speaking of nuisance animals, how goes the iguanodon quest?
Good. Just getting everything in order.
Good.
Like I said, summertime's going to be, once I start hitting it, that's when they start coming out. Summertime, they're going to be basking out of the trees. They'll be laying in the trees, on the ground. They'll be all over the place, man. They'll be all over because they just love the heat. So, summertime in South Florida is going to be, I call it ching ching time because that's going to be banking time for me. So far so good. Everything looking up, and
Good.
Marty actually did come through and hook me up, and God bless
That's
her.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that so much. So
John Wayne Gates wanted to know when the next book release is scheduled. I don't have an exact date, but I'm hoping if things go well, I should have one to release around the first part of May. Gary Lee says, anybody remember the movie Prophecy about the mutated bear? That was a good.
Yep.
Yeah, is that where
That was a good movie.
the bear was next to the logging plant that was dumping the chemicals?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, and the Indians got involved, and yeah, I remember that.
Mhm.
Yep, that was back in the 70s too, wasn't it? That
Mhm.
movie. Yeah.
There was a bunch like Jaws spawned. Pardon the pun. Spawned a lot of the man versus nature movies. You had Grizzly, which was pretty much a shot for shot retelling. You had the Prophecy. You had the Piranha movies that Joe Dante was involved with, the same guy from Gremlins. Then you had probably, in my opinion, one of the best, and it wasn't really a ripoff. People call it a ripoff, but Orca.
Orca was good. That's a good movie. The book was better.
That movie though, people want to say that it was one of the Jaws knockoffs, but there was so much more to that movie than, I mean,
because it shows you the intelligence.
Yeah,
of a killer whale.
It humanized that whale, and it showed that whale intentionally seeking revenge.
Oh yeah, and they do. They documented how orcas are family pods, that they do get revenge on. I mean, you could see that one video where those surfers were out. Where were they? In the bay, and that a family of orcas just came swimming by them, didn't even bother them, just kept going, and the baby was playing with the two surfers, two young kids, and the mom and dad were just off to the side watching, and just left it alone, and they went out into the ocean. But there's also documentation of them going after attacking sharks that target baby orcas that they would just tear apart.
You want to know what is really funny though? There's never been a documented case of an attack by an orca on a human in the wild.
No, but in captivity.
But in captivity, that's so.
Well, go watch that movie. Go watch that documentary.
Blackfish.
Yeah, watch that. Did you see it?
Yeah.
That's a crazy documentary, man. I mean, that really. I've never been so upset watching a documentary when I watched that.
Oh, I've seen that whale. That whale was still. Matter of fact, the one time that I went to SeaWorld, that girl Dawn Brasho, whatever her name was, she was actually still down there when I went down there.
That movie will bring a tear to your eye. Down there. Oh yeah, that movie will make you cry. How they treated those animals.
That is a big animal.
Yeah.
Huge. You talking like a 31-foot whale living in those little bitty. No wonder they go crazy. And
Of course, and then the way they treated them, I mean, that was a crazy movie. That documentary. It's very upsetting. Very upsetting. It's terrible what they do. What us humans do to these other animals. It's crazy. It's nuts. I'm looking at it. Why Santa Barbara? Okay, about 20 years ago, Channel 5 showed killer whales. There. And a great white of Santa Barbara coast attacking it and killing. Yeah, I think that was the first documentary of it.
no, all the Hans Bay, South Africa, just about went bankrupt because they were those two killer whales. They called them port and starboard because one fin went to the right and the other fin went to the left. They killed just about 20 or more great whites. Just cut their almost like surgically removed their livers.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah. I mean, really, I mean that's probably cryptid too. I mean, look at some of the stuff, the movies they've made about, whales, sharks. Look at the book Moby Dick. I mean, come on, really. I mean, how crazy could you get about a book? I mean, that's nuts.
Sperm whales, normal sperm whales are pretty big and nasty. I mean, that's like a 45, 50-foot whale, DA?
Yeah. So I mean,
sorry, what was that?
Sperm whales, they're like 45, 50 foot naturally.
Yeah, they're massive.
I mean, you get much bigger than that, you're getting in blue whale territory. Thanks, William.
Yeah, this, like I said, there's so many cryptid movies, man, and it's nuts what they have to have out. Really.
Well, there's, like we talked about,
there's that one movie I just watched, Robbie. I can't remember the name of it. I think maybe you guys remember it. Maybe we did talk about it. A bunch of kids go out to their uncle's cabin.
You talking about The Breed with Michelle Rodriguez?
No, and as they're driving out, they hit a baby Bigfoot and kill it by accident, and the mother gets revenge on them. Did you see that? The movie ends with him on a bridge, like a little water bridge, and basically the mother lets him go.
Oh, that exists.
Does that exist?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just watched that again. Yeah.
Yeah, that exists. I was just trying to think. I was like,
you're looking at me like, huh? Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about that. That plot line describes about 75% of these movies.
Yeah.
People are out and they hit something. Grizzly Rage, same exact thing.
Yeah.
They hit a cub. Mama grizzly goes nuts, starts killing people.
Yeah.
Orca, same thing. They kill the mama and the baby. Daddy goes nuts. I mean,
yeah.
that's a very, very overused plot line. So sometimes you gotta kind of think, which one was that again?
But, yeah, that movie was pretty much crazy, man. That was.
But going back to that, you said going out to the uncle's cabin, The Breed with and Michelle Rodriguez was in that. Did you see that one, DA? About the dogs and the genetically altered dogs?
No, yes. I didn't see that. Yes, I did see that one.
I didn't see that.
That's a good one. I mean, you can kind of put that on the cryptid list because they get out on this island and these dogs have been genetically modified, and they're almost like they're highly intelligent and are almost like little werewolves.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a pretty good movie.
That is nuts. You never know anymore, though, man. Seriously.
Not the one I'm talking about. It's The Breed.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I got to look it up now and watch it. But Michelle Rodriguez is in it?
Yep.
Okay. The one
She's
from
the-
Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the only big name star in it, but it was right before the first Fast and Furious came out, so it was right before she got real popular.
All right, I'll look it up tonight.
I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Wolftown's another good one.
I'm looking at the comments trying to catch up.
Did you see Skinwalkers?
I think I did.
I
Rona
did.
Mitra.
Yeah.
What's the bad guy's name from Shooter? The one that kidnapped his Mark Wahlberg's girlfriend.
Oh,
the crazy guy. He got his he taped the shotgun to his hand because he
yeah.
blast his head. He's in it. He's actually plays a good guy in that one. I can't think who else in it. That it's not bad, but there again, it's called Skinwalkers, but it's about werewolves, so it kind of goes with that Hollywood.
The Gray. That was a good movie too.
That is a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. The guy goes out hunting on the oil platforms and the oil.
Well, I mean, it's got Liam Neeson in it. I mean,
yeah. That was a
Fair
good
point.
It can't be that bad if it's got Liam Neeson in it.
Yeah. That was a good movie too. Yeah.
Anybody looks at the wolves and says, "I will hunt you. I will find you.
Yeah.
And I will kill you."
Oh God. So
Then there was we talked about it before, DA, but there was a movie about the Wendigo. What those?
Yeah. What's the name of that movie?
Is it The Ritual?
Is it where
Yes.
is it where the
That's a
kid
good movie.
Is that where the kid disappears or the daughter disappears?
No, these friends go out on a camping trip, and they get pretty much chased by a Wendigo. I think.
Oh yeah. I seen
Chased
I know.
into that cabin and
Yeah. That was the epitome of a Wendigo, though. I mean,
Yep.
that was like, to the T, with the antlers and the skull, and that was crazy. Yeah, there was one movie where I think the daughter went missing. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It has something to do with the Wendigo too. Yeah, she fell in this Wendigo comes out of the bottom of a tree like a cave. It's weird. Can't think of the name of it.
Have you guys seen Dawn of the Beast?
Dawn of the
that sounds
Beast.
familiar.
This group of college kids go out to try to document Bigfoot. I think it's up in Maine, and they end up running into a Wendigo, and it turns out to be a big brawl between these Wendigo creatures and Bigfoot.
I haven't seen it, but I have seen something about that. That was,
The acting's a little cheesy, but the creature effects are really good. That was a good one. Yeah, it was.
I gotta watch that now. Pumpkinhead, that's another classic.
Pumpkinhead's a classic horror film.
Yep.
Supposedly that's based on a real legend, but I've been having trouble running that down.
It was based off a poem, because Stan Winston, that's his first and only directorial debut, and he did the creature effects and he directed it, which I think he did a really good job. He only directed the first one.
I haven't seen that.
The rest of them were, not nowhere near as good as the first one. Another one with Lance Henriksen in it.
Yeah. Lance gets around.
Primal Force. Is that? Oh, she said.
Oh, DA, the movie you were asking about earlier, the Aussie movie, Devil Beneath.
Devil Beneath. That looks really good.
Toom just sent me a message. That's what it is. I saw the trailers for that too. It looks real good. Thanks, Toom.
There's another one coming out. It may already be out. I remember watching the preview. It's called Man versus Bigfoot or Man versus Sasquatch, something like that.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. This guy's brother goes out on a fishing trip and disappears, and he goes to find his brother. And the preview looks really good.
What is it called?
It's called. It's either Man versus Bigfoot or Man versus Sasquatch. I can't remember which one. It's Man versus Bigfoot, I think. But the preview looked really good.
Okay. And that's coming out. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on the comments because they're whizzing by. Open coloring book. It's called Primal Force. It is an engineered baboon. It's a movie about a plane crash. Did you see that?
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I
Sounds
think so
pretty good.
too. Yeah, those baboons are nasty too, man. They are.
Them things are nasty without messing with them
Exactly.
genetically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. You never thought in a million years those little bastards have canines the way they do. They got some big canines. Big ones. What else?
Let's see.
Lene says she's seen it. It's been out for a while. I knew it was coming.
What is it?
Man versus Bigfoot or Man versus Sasquatch, whichever it's called. It is out now. It's
Okay.
one I've been waiting to see and just I kind of forgot about it.
She said it's been out for a while. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing the previews. Surely it's not been that long ago, but it may have been a year or so ago when I saw the previews.
Miss
Northwoods
Lene,
is finally
get
on
the
the
right
board.
name for the movie if you can and put it up for us.
Yeah, it's either Man versus Bigfoot or Man
Yeah.
versus Sasquatch, one of the two.
I like to.
Travis King says the man that killed Hitler in the Bigfoot, worst cryptid movie of all time.
Yes.
I really hated that movie.
Did not like it.
I don't know about worse. Suburban Sasquatch was pretty damn bad.
Okay, there's some pretty cheesy ones. Of course, then you got the ones that are like Bigfoot's Wild Weekend and crap like that. Those were obviously just meant to be schlocky, goofy films. Right. But as far as the film that you were supposed to take serious, I was really disappointed in it. Man versus Bigfoot.
Okay, we got it, Miss Lene. Everybody's putting it. 2021 it came out. Holy shit.
Oh, it has been out a while then.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, we're about a couple of years behind.
Well, I know what I'm going to watch tonight.
Man versus Bigfoot. Okay, I got to watch that now.
John Wayne Gates says Liam Neeson for General Dalton. There we go. I can see that.
Yeah.
Old Patty says Dean Winchester killed Hitler.
I like Daniel Clark killed Hitler.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. It's on Netflix. It is? Maybe I did see it.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
I've probably seen it.
It may have been a while back since I saw the preview. I've been waiting for the movie, and it's probably one of those ones I just forgot to look for again. But I remember watching the preview and thinking, man, this looks really good, and then went and looking for it, and it wasn't out yet. So, maybe it's been a couple of years back when I was looking for it, but I'm definitely going to have to watch it now because it looks good.
We're talking about cheesy, though. We got to talk about Abominable.
Oh, Abominable when it unhinges its jaw. Yeah, that was like the cheesiest part. However, at the very end, when all those eyes are in the darkness, that was a creepy scene.
Yep. But it became a gugway towards the end of the movie. It became a face eater because it ate that guy's face.
Yes, it did.
Ate old Otis's face. And the scene when they were out there, Lance Hendrickson and Jeffrey Combs and that other guy are out there in the woods, and he's telling the story. That's a well done scene. I think the way it was lit, just the general mood that they had. It was believable that these guys were out there just being stupid rednecks, and then Lance Hendrickson ends up going off and pissing it off.
Yeah, well, he's good at that.
Yeah. But not one of the worst of the cheesy, schlocky. It's definitely better than like Suburban Sasquatch. Honestly, I think it's more entertaining than that Man Who Killed Hitler than Bigfoot.
I didn't care for that one. The thing was, is the premise of it sounded okay.
Yeah,
Like he was just this really badass soldier that they were bringing in, but when they started talking, well, you've got to stop it because it's going to spread this global plague. I'm like, okay, come on, now you're really stretching things. But if it'd been, we need to have you go get it because it's killing hikers and campers, and everything we've tried has failed to stop it, that would have been a little bit more believable. But the movie itself just wasn't great.
there was another one that came out right about the same time that one did. Um, and I think it was kind of sort of maybe on the found footage side, but I think one of the guy's brothers had disappeared, like a missing 411, and they tracked up to this cabin, and this old guy was in the cabin, and he knew about him, and they kind of interviewed him, and he said, well, if you're still here after dark, you're gonna find out that they're real and all that kind of stuff. And I can't remember the name of that one, but it was an old guy who sat there with a cowboy hat and a duster on in a rocking chair and was telling them just like matter of factly how they exist, and that he had fortified his cabin so they couldn't get in, but they didn't bother him too bad unless he did something he wasn't supposed to do. God, what was the name of that movie? I've seen it 2 or 3 times. I can't remember.
It sounds really familiar, like I might have seen it, but I'm drawing a blank.
Come on, Toombs. I know you've probably seen it. You're like me. What was the name of that movie? I can see the picture. It's on Netflix. I can see the thumbnail of the guy.
If you think of it, let me know, because if I haven't seen it, I will watch it.
The guy sitting in the rocking chair. It's something like interview with the big man, or interviewing the legend, or it's gonna drive.
We'll think of it eventually, I'm sure. Katoom says he's drawing a blank too.
Yeah, because there wasn't a whole lot of the creature in it. It was more of off camera stuff, like you'd hear them. And you hear the wood knocks, and you see things being thrown into camp. It was still because they camped out a couple of times, and God, that's gonna drive me up the wall. I'm gonna have to.
It'll come to you. Quit trying to force it. As soon as you stop thinking it, it'll pop in your head. That one guy says Alien was classified as sci-fi horror. It was, but it's still a creature film, so I guess at its core it's this unknown monster that's killing people. So yeah, I guess we could still by technicality say it's kind of a cryptid film because it was a made-up monster, but still it was a good movie. Damn good movie. He says he knows what you're talking about, but he can't think of it.
Yep. I guess you could count their Predator in that same classification too.
True. Pork and Bean says, okay, best horror movies, and we forget Bruce Campbell. I mean, come on. Yeah, we gotta think of Bruce Campbell. I love Bruce Campbell. The guy cracks me up. Interview with a Vampire. This may not win me a lot of friends, but I was not a fan of Anne Rice's vampires. I didn't like it.
They were too.
It was almost Twilight. I mean,
it was Twilight before Twilight was Twilight.
Yeah, they were way too sparkly and they didn't sparkle like in Twilight. That's not exactly what I meant, but they were way too just. I don't know. They ceased really being a horror film. They were more like cosplay vampires.
Yeah, I didn't find any of those movies or books or anything particularly scary.
Man Within mentioned a couple. Willow Creek. Willow Creek is a great one. I was actually directed by Bobcat Bob Goldthwait, of all people. But a really good movie. And if you watch there at the end, when the camera's running around and it's only panning around, if you're paying attention, you see some creepy shit go by the camera pretty fast. Willow Creek's a great one. It exists. We already talked about. Lost Coast Tapes ended weird.
I've heard of that one.
Lost Coast Tapes ended weird. It didn't turn out to be Bigfoot after all, but it was still a damn good movie. Big Legend we talked about. That was a good one.
Yep. Hunting the Legend. That's it, Naoma. That's the one I was just telling you. Hunting the Legend.
Hunting the Legend. I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that. 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 I' JDW 2150 is talking about the movie 65. It's out now. I thought it was coming out. It's got the guy from the guy that played Darth Tantrum from the new Star Wars films. I can't remember his real name. Kylo Ren. That's it. I call him Darth Tantrum all the time.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, he's in it. It looks pretty decent. Not a big fan of Adam Driver's, but
you talking about the 65 million or whatever?
Yeah,
it is?
65. I think it's called. I'm going to see if I've seen Hunting the Legend. It sounds kind of familiar, but it also doesn't at the same time. I may or may not have seen it.
Because Toon put Big Legend on there. I knew there was something with Legend, but I knew we'd already talked about Big Legend. But that's it, Hunting the Legend.
I'll have to watch that. Do you remember the movie that was made? I can't remember. It was fairly recent, maybe only a year or two old. Had the girl from all of the cell phone commercials in it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. It was a werewolf movie. It was set in this little town, like snow-covered town, and it kept killing people. And Toom says Darth Tantrum is appropriate. That's what I've called him forever. I've always called him Darth Tantrum. Congo was a great movie.
Are you talking about? Yeah, Congo was. Are you talking about the one where everybody was thinking it was a werewolf and it turned out to be the?
No. The girl from the cell phone commercials actually is the werewolf in it. Kind of a weak movie. It was done for too much humor value. To me, if you can't consider it a good werewolf movie if you don't get a good transform scene. And the only transform scene we got was her way in the background, and you just kind of barely saw it, and the creature effects were not great. It was, as far as werewolf movies goes, I was very, very disappointed in it. But the one you were talking about where the guy made the werewolf suit, that movie was pretty badass because I legit thought it was a werewolf until the very end.
Yeah, look at what Naomi wrote. That's put it up.
Hunting the Legend 2008, a deer hunter is taken by something in the Alabama woods, only his rifle blood. I have seen that. That actually, the story of that came about because of an actual encounter that supposedly happened in northern Georgia, where a hunter went missing. They found his rifle snapped around a tree, and the movie was based upon that story. But the movie was not awesome. It was okay. Werewolves Within, based on the video game. Sam Hain 11 got that. Yeah, it's called Werewolves Within.
Yeah, I thought Toombs had it with Snow Hollow. No, that.
If I had to choose one word to describe Werewolves Within, it would be meh.
Don Donaldson was talking about the Beast of Bray Road. Have you seen that one?
Is that the one where the very beginning that girl gets out of the car and goes running and it drags her up by the? Yeah, it's pretty cheesy, but it's all right.
That's an Asylum movie.
Yeah.
Congo. Yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but it was pretty good. Congo was damn good, and that was built on the book, The Congo. Michael Crichton got the inspiration for the book Congo based on the Billy Ape, which turned out to be real.
Yeah. Yeah, those apes look like Gugway, didn't they? With the teeth, and didn't those apes, those gorillas look like Gugways with the big fangs and shit?
Yeah, they had really nasty teeth.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one guy says legit Dogman movies. There really haven't been any really good straight up Dogman movies. A lot of good werewolf films. There were 2 movies, and they're actually talking about making a sequel, a third one. 2 movies called Dogman. The first one was called Dogman. The other one was like Dogman 2, The Litter, the Return of the Litter, or something like that. Not real great. I mean, the biggest name actor in it was the guy that played Andy on According to Jim, and then that's his claim to fame was he was a bit character in a sitcom. Not a great movie. Little schlocky, little cheesy. I would recommend watching it once.
Like I said, I still say the best Dogman werewolf movie is Dog Soldier.
Dog Soldier is damn good.
But that's more of a werewolf movie, not a Dogman movie.
That's what I mean. Hands down, Dogman werewolf movie, best movie yet.
Bone Hill is a good one. Have you seen that one?
No, I heard about it. You told me about it, Bobby. I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's two sisters, and I think something like their house was getting broken into,
Yeah.
and the people that break in the house chase them out into the woods, and then there's a werewolf in the wood. It's kind of action packed, but it's pretty good.
I would like to, I guess after what we experienced, you as a kid, meat hunting, and then DA, I actually would like to see a dog man. Honestly. I mean, that's like the trifecta of turkey hunting. You got to go for your grand slam. I mean, it's like,
The one I saw made me convinced I was probably not the smartest guy for trying to chase it. Looking in retrospect, I would not do that again unarmed. Yeah, it is something that really gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Ryan's got a very good point. That's exactly right. Have you ever seen Never Cry Werewolf?
That's a pretty good movie.
That is Fright Night with Werewolves.
oh yeah, The
That's
Beast Among Us. How about that?
Werewolf Beast Among Us.
Yeah.
Not bad. I like the premise of that movie.
Overlord.
I think that movie could have been done a lot better. It was another one of those that's kind of overly relying on CGI.
Excuse me.
But I did like the premise of that movie.
Yeah, Penny Benny says, yeah, Dogman would be like a turducken. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah. What would you do? Shove a Bigfoot up a Dogman's ass? I mean, what would you do? How would that be? How would that work? Because it's a Duncan. Because that's what a turducken is, right? What is it? A turkey, chicken,
and duck?
Yeah.
A pheasant? Isn't that
how? No, it's chicken, duck, and turkey.
Yeah, that's it. I can't remember. I'm lost, man. I'm shot, really.
Probably doing meatball.
This is going to be a long
turkey, duck, chicken.
He's saying this is going to be a long, crazy weekend. Woo! Watch out.
I'm gonna be explaining a lot of stuff. So what it seems like.
Yeah, redneck and a New Yorker let loose in Ocala. Watch out. They go out to the woods. They're gonna go. Who the hell are you guys? Oh shit. That's gonna be. I wish you were here, Da. Really, I think we would have a Da.
Oh, I know we would.
With the net like this in the chair by the fire. No.
Yeah, Net would probably just wash her hands of us.
Just don't do it, guys. Just don't do that. Me and Robbie going off doing crazy shit. If Doc was there, he'd be right there with us. Oh boy.
Chris Melissa sounds like someone's been in the crayons.
No,
he was off camera for a pretty good while. He probably had a few.
True.
I'm having my coffee. I'm in a good mood. Leave me alone. The burden, the weight has been lifted off my shoulders. A financial burden. Da knows and Robbie knows what I'm talking about.
What's the somebody talked about Ginger Snaps Back. That one was.
What is that?
I haven't seen that one. Is that a kids one?
No. Ginger Snap. You ain't seen Ginger Snaps?
No.
It's a Canadian werewolf movie, but it's more of like a coming of age type movie. And then there's Ginger Snaps Back, which is the second one. And then there's Ginger Snaps 3, which is the third movie in the installation, whatever. But it's actually a prequel to the first two. Mm-hmm. They're not bad. They're not some of my favorite werewolf movies, but they're not bad. It's two sisters. One of them gets turned into a werewolf on the day she gets her first period. Sorry, but that's how it goes.
Well, I mean, look how dogs act. Dogs act the same way with women.
She gets attacked that night, and then she starts going through her transformations, and
that's like
I don't know.
Like our ex-wives. Well, DA's only been married once, though. I mean, that's like my ex-wife, I guess, when she goes through her changes, and same as Robbie's. And
which one?
Exactly. Mine too. I've been married twice, man.
So you didn't learn your lesson the first time?
No. We never do. We're gluttons for punishment.
No,
Viking Wolf. Have you guys seen Viking
yes,
Wolf?
I heard
watched it
about it.
after you told me about it. I went and
I
watched
It was
never seen
pretty
it.
good. It
Where do I-
it wasn't fantastic.
Where can I watch it?
The CGI of the wolf wasn't great.
It's on
But
Netflix,
then,
Anthony.
yeah, it's not super awesome, but plot wise was pretty good. But the guy that spent his life hunting the werewolf to die with an RV load of frickin' silver bullets after trying to run one down with his RV was a dumb way for that guy to die.
Say what? What happened?
Yeah, he didn't try to shoot it after spending the whole movie making silver bullets. He tried to run it over with an RV.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
They kind of killed him off.
Chupacabra.
Ryan says it best. That's pretty much what the Ginger Snaps movies were.
What
Probably
is it?
why I didn't watch them.
Yeah. Who's that?
Yeah.
Monster Radio?
Yeah, it's Ryan.
Ryan? There was
Yeah.
that other movie. What was that other movie? Oh, remember the movie with the Vikings and what's his name was in it? Antonio Banderas. And that
13th Warrior.
that was a good movie.
Oh,
but that was
freaking
supposed
fantastic movie.
to be, wasn't that supposed to be betrayed off of a
Beowulf.
demon? Like a
Yep.
demon or wolf type of deal, DA? Or
Have
no?
you? It was
a
a retelling of Beowulf.
Yeah, very loose retelling of Beowulf.
Okay.
And if you read the original Beowulf, the
Right.
way they described Grendel was very much like a Bigfoot type creature.
Yeah, because that's how those people portrayed themselves as bears or monsters.
It really was a monster in
Right.
in Beowulf.
Right. Well, I remember watching the movie Beowulf. They made the movie.
Mhm.
Well, they
Yeah,
made-
but that was a good movie with Antonio Banderas. That was really good.
Great
There-
movie.
There's been several movies. Christopher Lambert actually, The Fortress is actually
Oh yeah.
was based
Oh
on Grendel.
yeah. That was a good one too.
It's based on Beowulf.
I forgot about that.
Yep. But it's more of an apocalyptic, futuristic type.
Is that the one where comes from space?
No.
Or is
No, that was Outlander. Outlander
was
was
Outlander.
really
Outlander.
good.
Yeah, that was but that was
That was the guy from Person of Interest.
Yeah. That was a good movie too.
Outlander was a really good movie.
Yeah,
Ron Perlman didn't last long in it, but he was in it.
What did that betray in that movie for the Viking history? What monster was that?
Some kind of type of dragon, but it came from a
It was
different.
an alien type creature, but they never really said what it was.
It was
I think they were referring to it as Fenrir or something like that in the movie, but it really wasn't. It was an alien monster. Monster Radio says Bone Tomahawk is kind of a cryptid movie.
Oh
yeah. That is
was
a really good movie, but it's got one of the most horrifying scenes in it I've ever seen.
yeah. Me
I
too.
watched that movie one time and will never watch it again.
Yeah, that movie was sick.
I hate that movie with a passion.
They split that old dude in half.
Oh my god! I watched that.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the hell am I watching?"
Yeah, that movie was sick.
Good.
But you don't realize in the movie what's going on until you think they're like just Native American Indians.
Yeah, I
And
thought
all of a
that.
sudden-
Well, when I first heard that screech, I thought they were going to be dealing with Bigfoot.
Yeah, but that scene just comes out of freaking nowhere. There's no setup to it. I mean, it's just like in the cave, all of a sudden, whack! There they
Yep.
are, drawing or quartering him. I'm like,
I
holy!
remember that.
Warn
I
somebody.
remember that watching it, and I was like, "This is sick.
God.
This is a sick."
It
movie.
is a good movie.
It is good, but it's put it like this: it's not for something for your kids to see. People, let's put it like that.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
No,
No, that once I was kind of on the fence about it up until that one scene. I was like, "Pfft,
yeah,
F that guy."
yeah, that was crazy. That was a good. I forgot about that. I forgot about that movie. That was a good movie.
See, I love a good monster movie. But
Yeah,
I guess because of my profession, stuff
What
like
you-
that can really happen.
right.
That's
Right,
the kind of stuff that I don't like.
exactly, and that's
I
where it hits
agree.
home. It hits home
Yeah,
because you've seen it. We, yeah,
you know,
it's even some of the stuff that I've seen in the courthouse, the pictures and stuff that murder cases, what they did,
that's like
it's horrifying.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus I I don't.
That's supposedly, isn't that a true story?
That's based on a true story.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like that kind of stuff, because that stuff really happened, and that's possible for somebody to do something like that. You're not going to have Freddy Krueger or Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees walking around doing the stuff they're doing. And that stuff doesn't bother me. But these things that could really happen, you're not going to have, a 30-foot great white swimming around with intent being of having revenge on people. There's stuff like that's not going to happen. There's fantastical, but
another. Stomping Grounds was okay. Yeah, Ryan's right. It wasn't awesome, but not bad.
What about that movie, The Hills Have Eyes? Ooh,
that's a creepy movie.
Yeah, that's a creepy, like Wrong Turn creepy.
Yeah, that's like a realistic that could happen. You never know. You might run into some wild people in the woods that want to eat you. You never know. Who knows?
Hey, stranger things have happened. What do they talk about? Feral people up in the Appalachian countries, that people go missing, and that's probably what's happening.
Well, look.
Yeah, that wrong turn is one of them movies that
Jeffrey Dahmer. Prime case really happened. There. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not know your son's eating people and burying him in the basement? I mean, come on, really? I mean,
sorry, Ryan. Hopefully, he won't be gallivanting around in your neighborhood.
What happened?
Ryan said, "I just put it up."
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that is realistic. Some of that stuff can be realistic. That's how crazy it could get. And they make it into a cryptid type of deal, But I mean, look at the mind of Stephen King, the stuff that he writes. I mean, that's like DA. When DA writes his books and comes up with all these cryptid stuff, and I mean, you gotta have your mind is so creative to do that. Like I couldn't sit there and do that. I really couldn't. I mean, some of the stuff, it's nuts that he writes.
That's messed up.
What?
Watching Wrong Turn the day before you go camping.
Yeah, thanks. No, I know the area pretty well, so we're not making any wrong turns. Trust me.
No,
we're going to be strapped.
He said he watched Wrong Turn and then had to go camping the next day.
Oh, yeah. Plus, me and Robbie are going to be strapped too. So anybody wants to, yeah, listen. Anybody in the chat wants to come out and scare us? That's going to be a bad idea. I'm just giving you a heads up now. I'm giving you fair warning. There will be shots fired through the tent. Don't do it. That's all I'll tell you. So I wanted to put it out there in case we had to go to trial on court with it, So
hey, we warned them.
That's it. The judge would be like, "Well, sorry, case closed. Bye. See you guys." I mean, give him fair warning. Yeah, Stephen King. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, DA. Didn't Stephen King, in one of his short stories, didn't he write about a Bigfoot that was in a box, or something they were transporting?
You're thinking of the original Creep Show where they had that monster under the stairs had been sealed in that box.
Oh, what's his name?
That wasn't a gorilla. That was like a Bigfoot Gugway type of deal, wasn't it?
No, but it was only like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, a little troll type
monster. It was bigger than that. It was in a crate, a giant crate.
That wasn't giant because they kept it underneath the stairs.
Maybe it was. I don't remember. I remember it looked like a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Hal Holbrook was the star of that one.
Tell it to call you Billy.
Yeah.
Now, Stephen King was actually in Creep
Devil
Show.
Monkey. That's what it was. You're right. It was.
Yeah, the meteor shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned him into almost like a swamp thing type. Turned him into a plant.
Yeah, and then they had the cockroaches coming out of the box of food and stuff. The old man.
Yeah.
I like the best one is that. What was the one with
Griswold's father-in-law?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What movie was that with the?
That was Creep Show.
Yeah, the Creep Show. But then there was another one with what's his name was on the plane and the gremlins ripping apart the wing of the plane.
Oh, that was Twilight Zone the movie.
Oh my God!
There's someone on the wing.
Yeah.
Something
on the wing.
William Shatner.
I liked the movie. You want to see something really scary?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Was it the movie or the TV show where that actor and the two child actors got killed in
The movie.
That was the movie. It was the scene,
was,
the scene with the Vietnam flashback.
Yep.
That's actually, I think the kid survived. It was Vic Morrow who got decapitated.
Got his head chopped off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty bad that when they were making that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yep, the Wendigo from Pet Sem. Yeah, didn't they? There was one in there, wasn't there?
Are we talking about the remake or the original?
I
don't remember Wendigo in the original. I ain't seen the remake.
the original either.
I think it was a remake. The remake.
Yeah, I ain't seen the remake, so I
haven't either.
Yeah, the original was only with the cat.
Yeah, the cat and the little boy.
Yeah, the little boy came back and killed Fred Gwynn.
Yeah.
Cujo. Remember
Cujo was pretty good, but not a cryptid film, but still pretty damn good.
But I mean,
another monster film.
Yeah, we got to cover all the bases. I mean, really.
Poor old Cujo, he was just a rabid dog.
Poor little bastard, Old Yeller. Who cried when Old Yeller died? Really, raise your hand. Who
Gil
did?
Perkins.
I cried. Cujo was a great book. Well,
the book was a lot different than the movie.
The books are always better.
Yeah,
always better. I mean, even Jaws and the book, the book Jaws was good. Even the Godfather, when they made the Godfather movie, how much they took out of the movie because of the book, because it was so long.
Well, if you read Jaws, there's a lot of mafia ties in the original Jaws novel.
Yeah.
They took all that out for the movie because they didn't think it would translate over.
Well, it takes place. Look where it takes place in Amityville. It's in
it's Amity Island, not
Amityville. I mean, but it's New York. That's in New York. I know that's supposed to be
in the yard, not too far from the car.
Yeah, that's right over by whatchamacallit, not Boston, but Rhode Island. Rhode Island up there. How they talk.
In Amity, you say yard. In the yard, not too far from the car.
Yeah, I would go crazy.
Painter says, what about Primal Fear? We talked about Primal Rage.
Yeah,
What's Primal Fear?
Primal Fear.
Primal Fear is the one with Gustav, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's the one with the crocodile.
The giant crocodile.
And
that was a good one, too.
Now, I just watched a documentary on that about a week ago. That was recent. They haven't had a picture or a video of this thing in about 5 years now. So they don't know if it's alive or dead. But the villagers are still saying it's still around.
I would listen to the villagers.
Yeah, the one video, this thing is that one video they have of it sitting in the marsh, it was just massive.
Well, he's very distinguishable because he's got scars on top of his head where people tried to shoot it and kill it. And
have you seen it? Have you seen the pictures where it's laying next to the other crocodiles and how massively big it is compared to the 19-footers that are laying there? It's like
it
dwarfs it.
They're saying he's close to 27, 28 feet.
Yeah,
he's pushing
something like that.
And he's over 100 years old. Isn't that what they said?
How long
originally
they live as a species?
They first originally said, but then that lady that was studying him looked at him and he had all his teeth. And if he was 100 years old, he wouldn't have all his teeth.
They said it was a form of
gigantism.
Yes, that's what they said it was a form of. And that's what they believe. That's why he's so big.
Maynard says, nope, it's a Bigfoot movie, Primal Fear. I think you're thinking of the movie Primal Rage.
Primal Rage.
Freaking great Bigfoot movie. In fact, it's my favorite.
Anaconda and iguana. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no anacondas and iguanas in Ocala, but there are a bunch of hogs. So
do a pig guanaconda barbecue.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when the guys come down here and I'm set, my feet are planted in, down in South Florida. We're going to go down and do some banging of water monitors and green iguanas, all of us. So I got a boat lined up already so we could go down the canals and pop them off the banks.
Nice.
So, you know what they charge for you to go out to do that down there?
What's that?
$400 a head.
So just go out and smoke as many of them as you can find?
Yeah, like there's no permits for it, nothing. You're like, okay, if I was hunting them down there, Robbie comes from North, hey, can I go hunt? Yeah, $400 and I'll take you out on the boat and you can shoot them all day off the bank.
Wow.
Like what?
What Ryan's talking about right here, though, that's Matawan Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they actually reference that in Jaws.
It was a bull shark.
Yeah.
That took place in Jersey, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because bull sharks will swim up fresh water.
But
in fact, they found bull sharks in the Great Lakes.
Yeah,
they
did.
actually they caught a baby or juvenile great white in the surf right around where the mouth of the river, the Matawan River, came out.
Yeah, where the brackish water hit mix.
Yeah, they caught a baby or a juvenile great white out there, but that more than likely what was upriver was a bull shark that killed the boy and or bit the boy's leg off and killed the guy that went to help him. But what killed
the boy's leg off in the river?
They think that the great white that they caught is what killed the people out in the ocean, because it was caught close to where. So more than likely, it was not one shark that did all this, but because the great white was one that was caught, that's where all the story came from, and that's because Quint was actually based on one of the town residents who was an old sea captain, so he was actually based on a real person.
Did you see the great white they caught off in North Carolina, Robbie? They pushed back in the water. Not caught. The thing beached itself. Did you see the video?
Well, they about a year ago, they land caught a 13 or 14 foot great white in Alabama.
Yeah, this thing was massive, bigger than that. It beached itself in North Carolina, and these people on the beach were actually pushing it back in the water. This thing was huge. I got to send you the video. Somebody was videotaping it. I was like,
wow.
Jesus, this thing was massive. What other? I'm looking at see what other movies that we forgot. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions of movies, please put them in the comments. I mean,
oh yeah, I'm always looking for more
I can't keep track, and Robbie
films to watch.
Yeah, we can't keep track of all the movies that come out, especially the B ones.
Boys, we are coming up on the 2-hour mark.
Are we really?
I think, it's time to talk about our good folks that are part of our affiliate program. How about we have Mr. Doc talk about Dark Angel Medical? How's that sound?
Hey everybody, this is Kerry Pocket Doc Davis from Dark Angel Medical, and you are listening to DA Ex Machina with DA Roberts. You may recognize me or some of my products from Dark Angel Medical in some of the Apex Predator, Lakeview Man, and Wild Hunt books, and you can get those products at www.darkangelmedical.com, along with training classes on how to use those products and save a life. Shoot us an email at info@darkangelmedical.com and be the difference.
And remember, they have what's called the Kit for Life Guarantee. If you use your kit to save somebody's life or your own, they will replace the contents of the kit for free for life. They've got like 167 saves now, which is just fantastic. 160 some people out there are still alive today because of Doc's kits. Make sure you use discount code Cryptid25. You'll get 25% off your entire order. Robbie, would you like to talk about Scallywag?
Sure. I got all my knives. Well, not all of them. I got most of them.
I got one here.
As you can see, DA's got the link up there on the bottom of the screen, scallywagtactical.com. It's another one of our affiliates, veteran-owned company. Make really good folding knives and fixed blade knives.
Oh, you got the same one, DA. Look at that. I
Yep,
got the
that
one.
would be the Transformer that DA and Anthony are holding up.
Yep, I got this one.
It'd be the Jolly
Mhm.
Roger. It'd be the Sailor Assisted Folder in copper, which
Yeah.
I just think is so pretty.
Here,
love that
turns
knife.
it in. Turn it into
Did
a
you have
nice
your
little-
dew claw handy?
Now it's packed up in the.
Oh, DA's got the claw. That's my next. I got to get one.
And
You better
then
get it soon. They're discontinuing it this year.
I know.
so, as much as we love showing these knives off, we show them off because they're great knives. Some of the sharpest knives you'll ever.
The Valhalla.
Yep, I like to have one of them too.
It discontinued
And then-
this one. Good luck finding it.
And then
The only way
Anthony's
you're
got
going to
the
find
gunner's
one is
mate up
find
there.
somebody getting rid of one.
No, I'm
I
just saying
love
I'd
this.
like to have one. Meaning,
I love
wish
this
I
knife
had
right here. This is a badass bush knife right here.
the gunner's mate.
Yeah, love it. Then I got the other one to this that I carry in the truck with me. It's on my vest. The brother to this, the smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this thing is
The
badass.
Spindrift.
Yeah, I love that knife. This one's nice. And the clip on it, look at this. I mean, people, this comes already with the belt clip for your belt. Yeah, that's it right there. This comes with it with the belt. I mean, this thing, and then you could put this on the Molly gear, also on your tactical vest. It snaps right in. It's awesome. I mean, look at this. The Kydex, I mean, it's perfect too. It's just, you can hear it snap in. So that's my next toy right there.
Anthony be out there lopping off iguana heads with one of these.
Yeah, that's what I need. Honestly, I should bring that with me.
Saving on ammo.
Yep. Yeah, but
So-
these knives are awesome. Like Robbie said,
Oh.
we don't know what he does to the edges, but I've never
They hold an
seen-
edge like nobody's
Yep.
business.
I've never
Just
seen a
that-
knife. Yeah.
Fantastic
They've also
knives.
got a blemish blade section, which
There's still a lot of blades in the blemish blade section too.
and 9 times out of 10, there's nothing wrong with the knife itself. It's the box they come in. They just can't resell it as new, or sell it as new rather. So you get a deep disc. This is a $45 knife I got for $15. This is a $45 knife that I got for $10. With shipping and handling together, I got both of these knives, which are $45 knives each. I paid $26 for both of them with shipping. And I've said this before, I dare anybody to go get one knife for $26 at any sporting goods store that will compete with one-on-one with either one of these knives, much less both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Like
you
I
can throw
said-
this one in here, the Orca, and I only paid, DA $12 for this one.
Yeah.
With shipping
You
and
can get
all.
them on the blemish sale for $8 right now.
I mean,
So-
DA knows and Robbie knows, I cut everything with this cardboard, the big bags of dog food. I mean, we got 3 pit bulls, so I go through dog food like nobody's business. So when I open up a bag and you got those nylon heavy bags, this thing slices through it like it's a razor blade. It's ridiculous.
Old Patty wants to know the name of the big one. It's called the Bounty,
Yeah,
and those should be back in stock.
yeah.
They went the long. And supposedly they got like 200 or 250 more coming in.
Yeah, that's my next toy when I can afford it. What is that, like a $200, $300 knife?
Something like that. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is right off the top of my head. Also, right now, if you like the kitchen knives, you can get that entire block set that I've got in my kitchen, basically at half price on the blemish sale. Those are the best kitchen knives I've ever owned. Just absolutely fantastic. I was cutting tomatoes for sandwiches yesterday and was just going whoosh, whoosh, just cutting those things almost paper thin just because I could.
Oh, with the kitchen knives?
The kitchen
Yeah.
knives are amazing.
That's one set I do want to get for the house here, because
I was cutting roast the other day with the big chef knife, just
Yeah.
going through it like it was butter.
Yeah, and some of those knives like you buy in you go to Macy's or Bloomingdale's, like, and then you get the Emerald Lagasse knives or the Hell's Kitchen knives that they swear by. Garbage. You know, I got a set here that I'm ready to throw away. I'm tired of sharpening them. Really.
Yeah, they still got. I just look. They still got a pretty good bit of good knives on the blemish blade.
On the blim.
Yeah.
And if you do go to Scallywag, make sure you use discount code DA Roberts 10 for 10% off your entire order. And that does apply to the blemish blades as well. You still get 10% off.
And the Bounty is still sold out as of right now. The Bounty, Gunner's Mate are both still sold
Doc
out.
said he called Craig a few days ago, and Craig said they've got like 200 or 250 on the way.
But the Gunner's Mate is on sale for $190. The Bounty's on sale for $299.
Have you seen any of the videos that they have on the Scallywag YouTube channel? Mike Don Vito is one of their hand-to-hand combat instructors. He teaches how to knife fight and how to defend against knives. There's one video he takes the Gunner's Mate and they hung a side of pork, and he takes that Gunner's Mate and in one slash goes through rib bone and everything.
Yeah,
he went all the way down to the spine with one slash. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, that stuff. I don't know what he does to the edge though. Like me and Robbie said, the edge. It's got to have high carbon steel in the edge that he doesn't mention because there's no way.
I've never had knives hold edges like these.
Me either.
No.
I've carried knives since I think my dad gave me my first pocket knife when I was about 6, and I've pretty much carried a pocket knife.
Well, me and Robbie
every day the rest of my life.
I make knives.
Even as a cop, when I'd go to my locker, I would put my weapon in my locker with my pocket knife right next to it.
This is a high carbon steel blade that I made. That's high carbon steel. I mean, this thing is razor sharp. So I know. I mean, Robbie will tell you the same thing. The only way you're going to hold an edge, you've got to have a nice content of carbon, high carbon, in your metal. So stainless, 90% of your knives that you buy are stainless steel, and they don't hold an edge. For some reason, his knives hold an edge. So it's got to have it's got to have carbon in the very fold of the edge.
Yeah, the Scallywag blades just hold an edge like nobody's business. This one, I mean, I've used the crap out of this one. Like Anthony says, I open dog food bags and everything else, and they'll still just take hair right off your arm.
Sometimes they'll take more than hair off.
Yeah, if you ain't careful.
Not that you've done that or anything.
Nimza says, how do they go with resharpening? I've got a.
I haven't had to resharpen them yet.
Yeah,
I've got
we haven't done it.
I've got a ceramic stone, and the most I've ever done to one of mine is just run it across that ceramic a couple of times. I've never really had to put any time resharpening one.
Yeah, I got the 6 stone sharpening. So, I mean, I haven't. The only ones I've used those stones on are the kitchen knives. I haven't touched any of my knives that I have from them at all. Even my pocket knife, I haven't. And I've had that for what, DA? About a year and a half now.
Yeah, about that. About a year and a half. I sent that to you.
Yeah, DA sent it to me as a gift, and I haven't had to take a stone to that yet. It's still razor sharp. And like me and Robbie said, we've had Crenshaws, we've had Benchmates, we've had. You get when you're in the law enforcement. Like me, I was in the courthouse. Robbie was on the road. DA did both. You can always carry a knife on you. There's always a knife on you somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And Crenshaw and Benchmade was like, whatever.
This is the knife I kept behind my magazine pouch. You couldn't even tell I had it on.
That's like a Karam, right?
Yeah, it's a K-bar actually.
They make good knives too, man. I mean, you can't beat them. I mean,
I had it actually clipped on the inside of my duty belt with my mag pouch right there, and the mag pouch is stuck up. You could just barely tell that it was even on my belt.
Nice.
That was my whole emergency holdout knife.
Yeah, his knives are just scally. I don't know what he does. Like we said, we need
Just
to pick his
fantastic
brain.
blades.
Yeah, we got to pick his brain one day so we could get and find out, so we can actually tell you people. But it's crazy what these blades hold an edge like nuts.
There is one other thing I should play, and I'll go ahead and do that.
From the mind of author D.A. Roberts. Cryptids. Lakeview Man. Apex Predator. Codename Wild Hunt. Zombies. The Ragnarok Rising Saga. Science fiction and fantasy. Lost Legion. Find them all at daroberts.net or amazon.com.
I always forget to play that one, so I figured while I was thinking of it, I probably ought to go ahead and play that one. Folks, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We had a great time talking about movies, and we by no means covered all of the movies. There are 1,001 cryptid movies out there. Some of them good, some of them not very good. But unfortunately, that's pretty much the gamut the risk you take with any movie.
Yeah.
There are a lot of movies out there that are really good and a lot of really crappy ones. And you're going to find that just the same in cryptids as well. But there are some really good ones out there. I think we all pretty much agreed that Primal Rage was our favorite. I highly recommend Throwback. Just a freaking great movie. The original Legend of Boggy Creek exists. Big Legend is another good one. Willow Creek is fantastic.
Willow Creek was good.
Willow Creek is a really good one.
I forgot about
it was done that kind of found footage style, but it was still really good. I don't generally like the found footage format, but it can be done right. Want to say a big thanks to all the moderators tonight. You guys did an awesome job.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys and all the hard work you do in keeping chat flowing good. And thank you all for hanging out with us on this Saturday night. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend, and I hope the rest of your weekend is awesome. Tomb says, "Don't forget Dog Soldiers." Definitely not.
Right there with you, Tomb.
Fantastic movie. But folks, thank you guys for hanging out with us. I don't have the subject for Wednesday's show posted yet, but it should be up tomorrow, maybe Monday. So hopefully you guys will be joining us on Wednesday night. We will definitely be back with more of the cryptids and weirdness that you've come to expect from us. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. I hope you guys had an awesome night.
We're gonna try. I wanted to talk to you before we got off the air. Try to do a live stream maybe from the conference.
That would be cool.
And then
that would be really cool.
And try to get you to go.
Wednesday night, we got to figure out what we want to do. Since we'll both be in Florida, we're going to figure out how. Maybe if you want to come to my hotel room and us be on same time, or whatever you want to do. So
I can bring that. I mean, this thing's portable, man. I can bring this with me and hook it right up to the TV in the hotel and bring everything with me, and we can just sit there. I mean, if the Wi-Fi's good, yeah, we could both get on there, me and you, and do it right from the hotel room and just chill. So yeah, that will work.
Because I was trying to think about how the best way to do that with it, so we could both.
Yeah, this thing's got a handle on it, Robbie. I just pick it up and take it with me. I mean, it's only like this big for a gaming computer. It's not that heavy. So, I mean, I could just pick it up and take it, and I got the camera and keyboard, and that's it. So, and the mouse, that's nothing. And we'll hook it right up to the TV in there. As long as the TV has a USB port, which I'm sure it does.
Most all of them have that.
We'll hook it right up and use it. Should be good. But we got the show Wednesday, and then the conference is Saturday, so maybe we'll tape something and then air it Saturday night. I don't know.
That would be cool. Yeah, the conference will be done before we would even go on the air. I think it shuts down at 6 or 5.
Yeah, or we might do a live stream out in the woods. Me and Robbie driving around in the old red crayon truck. You never know. With
There
the
you
light
go.
there. Who knows? You know.
Well, folks, thank you guys again for hanging out with us. Definitely tune in this coming Wednesday. We will have a show. We'll announce the subject. We'll probably be talking more of the same cryptids or something just as creepy. There's some been really interesting new reports that have come out in the last few days about dog attacks in a couple of remote areas that I really would like to talk about. So we may be discussing some of those. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're glad you guys spent the weekend this Saturday evening with us. Hope everybody that's in the path of some of these storms that are moving through the heartland are okay. What's the code for Dark Angel Medical? It's Cryptid 25.
Stream Element got it up.
Yep, there we go. Stream Element's got it. Toombs was on a roll there. But again, folks, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We have an awesome time hanging out with y'all, and we hope to see you guys again this coming Wednesday. So again, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys for hanging out with us,
everyone.
And have a good night, everybody.
See ya.
Night.
Thank you for joining us. Catch us again Wednesdays and Saturdays on DAX Machina. A special thanks to all our channel members and Patreon supporters. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.